gosh. I just beat the Technology Trilogy. By the way, this is why I don't just quit. If I'm playing well, I don't quit. Every time someone told me to take a break, I understand where you're coming from, but this is why I don't. Because usually whenever I'm playing like that, there's a good chance I'm going to beat it that night. I just beat the Technology Trilogy. 6,081. So I think I did end up beating my Digital Descent attempt count, which is pretty good. I got so unnecessarily unlucky with this level. I probably could have beaten this in about 4K. I'm just glad I pulled it off tonight, man. I really struggle with this level, man. I don't know why this level put me through as much as it did, but I'm so glad I was able to pull this off tonight. I really do love this level, despite my experience with it, but that being said, I'm so glad I never have to play this again. Artificial Ascent by Viprin. The Technology Trilogy is one of the most influential trilogies that this game has ever seen. From the moment that I joined this community, before the release of Cybernetic Crescent, I wanted to be a victor of Artificial Ascent and Digital Descent. And the first level that I beat of this trilogy was actually Cybernetic Crescent. I did it about 4.5 years ago now as a hardest. I didn't get around to Digital Descent until about 2 months ago, whenever I made my return to the game. And after I finished up Digital and Cybernetic, all I had left was Artificial Ascent. This level is probably the one that scared me the most out of the entire trilogy. It's simply because of the reputation that this level has. A lot of people say this level is incredibly stressful and really unbalanced. I'm gonna go ahead and contest the unbalanced accusations because I don't think this level is nearly as unbalanced as Digital Descent was. But I will say that whenever it comes to stress, this is probably the most stressful level in the trilogy. This level made me freaking nervous, man. So as a result of those things, I never really touched the level up until I basically had to finish off this trilogy. I didn't really know what to expect, but coming out of it now, I can confidently say that I really do love Artificial Ascent, but I had a horrible experience with it, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. I'm gonna split the level up into 3 sections. I'm gonna be starting off with 0 to 29%, everything up to Michigan's part. I don't have a lot to say about this section. It was pretty easy compared to the rest of the level, but kind of similar to how Bloodlust was with its first 25%. The first 29% of this level is mainly just inconsistent. It's really not bad or frustrating or anything, but you really just cannot get past it every attempt, thanks to mainly Sanic's part and Heinz's part. Sanic's part is incredibly awkward and kind of weird, and in literally any other level, I probably wouldn't have liked this part, but I ended up really liking this part. I really don't know why. I thought out of all the parts in this level, this would be one that I really disliked, but now Sanix's part is really, really fun. I will say that Sanix's wave is a little weird, but that's kind of it. That's the only complaint I have. Like, it's really fun despite how inconsistent it is. Now, Heinz's part, I really didn't like. I don't have any reason why. I just don't like Heinz's gameplay, apparently, because out of the 4 levels that I've beaten with Heinz's parts in them, those being the Technology Trilogy levels and Yatagarasu, I don't like any of his parts. I think they're mid to bad. And so, of course, I'm not gonna like his part in this level. It's probably my least favorite part of the level overall. I really didn't like it, man. But other than those 2 parts, 0 to 29% really isn't bad by any means. I actually enjoyed it a fair bit. I want to specifically take time to highlight 2 parts in this section. One of those being Mannix, which is genuinely some of the most fun I've ever had playing the game. I am so glad that this part is right at the beginning of the level because it made this level so much fun to play from 0 and not boring because this part is so good. So I'm glad that part's there. The second part I want to highlight is Zobros. Everyone told me that Zobros's part was incredibly difficult. I never found it that hard. I actually just found it really fun and consistent. I just love this part. That's all I wanted to say about it. It's just a great part. I love that dual ship. It's awesome, man. But yeah, overall the first 29% of this level really isn't that bad. It's just a little inconsistent. Moving on to 29 to 53%. This is Michigan's part to Nazgub's part. By default, this is probably my least favorite part of the entire level. That's not because it's bad. I still really like the majority of this section. It's mainly just because it's the part that I have the most issues with. Hopping right into Michigan's part, everyone told me that the 4 blue orbs in this cube would absolutely kill me and I was gonna hate this part, and whenever I played it, it didn't give me an issue at all. I did not find Michigan's part very hard. Really, the only hard part of Michigan was the very first click. Other than that, if I could get past the first click, I could basically get past the entire part. I also found it like incredibly satisfying. I don't really know why people hate this section so much. I thought it was great. It's a really satisfying part. Anthrax's part is definitely a bit more frustrating. It holds a lot of the same issues that I had with this part in Yatagarasu. Those issues being that the ship's super awkward and you can't see anything because Anthrax has this magical ability to not use contrast in his parts, and as a result, you can't see anything in them. The main reason why I died to this part, other than it just being an awkward ship, is because I genuinely did not know what was killing me at the time, which in itself was pretty frustrating. And I do think that this part is actually harder than his part in Yatagarasu, but it got a lot more consistent. I think that's mainly because this part you can get a pretty easy click pattern with, and as a result, I was able to pass it probably like 4 times out of 5. It wasn't too bad. I still didn't love the part, but it wasn't terrible. Other than those parts, Zenthic's part, Viprin's part, Lugia's part, and Whammic's part, or Whammy Q's part, these parts were bad. I actually really liked all of them for the most part. They all got pretty consistent after a while. I don't have a ton of complaints with this section. I think my biggest one would probably be the Green Orb and Viprin's part. It was pretty obnoxious. I mean, I don't think I struggle with it nearly as much as other people, because the moment I went from 0, I was just able to do that Green Orb somehow. No idea how, because from runs I could never do it, but I'll take it. I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, other than that, Viper's part wasn't too bad. I will point out Lugia's part. Lugia actually redeemed himself for his sins with Yatagarasu. Holy crap, his part in this level is one of my favorite parts in the entire level. There's just something about the movements and the way that each game mode works in this section. It just matches the music so well, and it's just a great part. I really, really liked it. Overall, 29 to 53 has a couple issues, but I really don't hate it. I thought it was pretty fun. Yeah, really, really not a bad section at all. I mean, I just got a little frustrated with a couple things. Next up is 53 to 100 or Nazgub to 100. Now this is definitely my favorite part of the level. This section of Artificial Ascent contains some of the most iconic and amazing parts of Artificial. In my opinion, this entire section is some of the best work we've ever seen in a mega collab, both for its time and in general. I truly do think that 53 to 100 in Artificial Ascent is genuinely some of the best gameplay and best decoration we've ever seen in this game. Like, it's phenomenal. It is so good. Starting off with Abstract Dark and Etzer's part. These two parts work as amazing tension builders. Abstract Dark's part is notorious in this level for being really difficult, but I never struggled with it a ton. I thought it was alright. I mean, it was definitely more difficult than the surrounding parts, but I was able to get really consistent at it really quickly since it's a pretty straightforward part. I still die there every once in a while from 0 because, like I said, it is difficult, but it never like frustrated me too much. It's a really good part. I really liked it. This part and Etzer's part just work together with the song to create this almost ethereal atmosphere, like flying through Etzer's ship specifically as the piano plays in the background with all the moving rainbows. Like, it's just such an amazing part. I love this section of the level so much. It might be my favorite section in the level, genuinely, because it just works so well and it's so well constructed. I truly don't think we've seen a level that uses decoration, gameplay, and the song as well as specifically Etzer's part in this level does. Next up is Speed's part. Everyone told me that this part is horrible. It's the hardest part of the level. You're gonna die here a million times and you're gonna hate it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was really fun. I really liked this part. Now, I did die here a lot. I think I died here 9 times, which is a lot, but it's not as bad as it could have been. And even whenever I died there a ton, I felt like all my deaths were super fair and none of them really frustrated me that much. I really like the way that this part flows, and I think that the gameplay, again, matches the song really, really well. I don't know, maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but I really like Speed's part. I really didn't dislike this part at all, and it really wasn't that much of a choke point from 0. It was rough, but it wasn't awful. Now, after Speed, we have Serpunch's part, Galvatron's part, and Terran's part. This is what I would call the finale to Artificial Ascent. As soon as you get past Speed's part, if you've passed like the first 5 clicks of Serpunch, you could probably beat the level, since the parts get pretty easy from there on out. However, I was not one of those people to do that. I had 5 deaths past Serpunch. I got incredibly unlucky with this level. This is definitely one of the worst experiences that I've ever had, like, playing a level before. I really don't know why I struggled with this level so much. I just could not beat it. It didn't take away from my enjoyment or anything, because I still give this level like a 10 out of 10 for gameplay. Like, it's amazing. I would just be sad when I was playing it towards the end, because like I basically beaten the level like 5 times over at one point. Like, I've got to Galvatron's part 6 times in total from 0. That's ridiculous. That's an insane amount of deaths at Galvatron or past Galvatron. This experience with this level was genuinely horrible, and again, I love this level to death. I cannot reiterate how much I love this level, but I'm so glad I never have to play it again, because getting to Serpunch's part that many times from 0 is so stressful. This level is so stressful. My heart rate skyrocketed anytime I got to Etzer's part, dude. Like, it really never got better up until the very end. So having to do that so many times was just, it's such a stressful experience. So overall, 53 to 100 in Artificial Ascent is definitely some of the best gameplay and some of the most fun that I've ever had playing this game. I really, really do love this section, and the only reason why I'm even complaining right now is solely because of my experience, which is not the level's fault, but just, I really wish I didn't have to go through that, man. Overall, Artificial Ascent is an amazing level. I absolutely adore the level. It is probably my new favorite 2.0 level in the game. That being said, my experience, as I just mentioned like 5 times, was less than favorable. So I don't exactly know how I feel about the level right now. Like, I want to love it, but my experience just, it's like a wall to me calling this level like perfect. As of right now, I think I'd say that it's definitely better than Digital Descent, but it's tied for my favorite with Cybernetic Crescent. Now, those things being said, all the levels in this trilogy are phenomenal. This is the best trilogy of levels in the game, in my opinion, and I'm very, very glad to be able to call myself a victor of it, even though I had to really fight to get there. As for difficulty, I'm not 100% sure where Artificial is. What I can say is that it's definitely easier than Digital Descent. That is a given. I really did not find this anywhere close to that level. I don't know where it is exactly below Digital Descent. It's probably around like the Zafkiel Stomach Redux range of difficulty. So, you know, it's not like ultra difficult for someone like me, but I still did struggle with it quite a lot. But yeah, if you're interested in this level and you can handle the fact that it's kind of unbalanced and it's super stressful, I would highly recommend you give this level a shot. Just keep in mind that this level is a lot harder than it seems. You can get runs on this level really quickly, but playing it from zero, it's a completely different beast. But if you keep all those things in mind, this level is absolutely phenomenal and I would highly recommend it. But yeah, that's all I got.